Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm gonna be bringing up a case. I I don't bring up these type of actual subjects. I don't like discussing them, but it's just reality in life. Um, this actual particular one is actually it's I'm not gonna say it's rare. Well, it's rare that these actual predators get actually located and arrested and actually prosecuted for the fact that they do their stuff on the on the web, and they try to disguise it as much as possible. And that being said, when you have individuals that do such uh, acts, you want to think that the whole community will actually take action on these actual uh, predators, right? And I remember growing up, through teenager, going down to the ranch in Mexico, actually in Baja. Um, And I remember the best time was when my aunt would actually tell us stories of the old country, in Mexico, and how they actually took care of justice out there for such events. And I remember she brought up one time that where they live is mostly agriculture, ranchers, and there was a family, kind of not young family, but the actual mom passed away from an ailment, and the the dad was actually raising these two, almost like a year and a half apart, two adolescent girls, and and one day, he noticed that something was up with them, and well, it turns out that the grandfather, he did the unthinkable to them, the grandfather, his dad, and and you know some things you just don't want to get your hands dirty, and they were so far out, like out in the actual uh, in the rural area, not rural but far away from the nearest magistrate, the nearest actual uh, police station, maybe about 3.5 4 hours away, the actual the nearest police unit, a local for the actual jurisdiction where they actually lived. And this was before actual telephones were in your house. And there might have been one at the local, you know, uh, pharmacy or something like that. But so what? How they would actually communicate? If a trucker was actually, uh, going down towards this actual police station, they would send a message, hey, and they would explain the situation, and the truck driver would gladly, stop by and let them know exactly what's going on, and within the next couple of days, an actual what would be a deputy would show up, police car, real policeman would show up, and he would actually gather up all the actual everybody's testimony, and they had this actual grandfather tied up in the actual barn, and he got him. He told the people that were actually were keeping an eye on him in the shed, to not bother actually putting him in the back of a police car. Just put him in. They opened up the trunk, and he popped the trunk open. They threw him in there, and both of them left in that police car towards the actual police station, about 3 hours away. But only the police officer showed up. This grandfather got left somewhere along the way there. They took care of their own. They take care of their own justice. Their way. And stuff like that. You just don't tolerate. And that's the way she explained it to us. And I want to say that this is actually that would actually uh, fall into how do you say it, when people are on death row, you know what I mean? And that's what that could be a good example of how it should work, and it should work, and that's the way the punishment was dealt with back in her days, as a as living out on the ranch, out in the agriculture part of the actual country. So now, as for this 79-year-old male, it's actually a Vallejo man indicted for flying to the Philippines with the intention of engaging in sexual contact with a child. He was actually investigated, and through different avenues. For example, the Criminal Division of Child Exploitation and Obscenity sections. And there's a quite a bit of these actual cases that I come across when I do my research, and I don't like even actually giving my time for that, but I just want to bring you guys this one for the fact that it's I want to give you guys an example of actually what happens, uh, and what can happen if you actually are conducting what they call as a tourist, uh, what is it? Sex tourism, I mean, especially with minors, and apparently he was actually conversating with this actual child with the age of under 16, and he pretty much being very like you know actual nasty with this actual kid via emails and Facebook. And he had sent her some money, before he actually flew out there, and he actually discussed with the co-conspirator his plan to sexually abuse the victim in the Philippines. And this actual 79-year-old actually flew out there, and so he was actually yeah, he was actually caught, and he was actually arrested, and he'll go to trial, and I'm pretty sure they have enough evidence to actually to prosecute him. And that actual crime carries a 30-year actual maximum on this actual crime, but it depends on how the judge and the jury actually will actually take into actual consideration, whatever. And he'll probably plead that he's sick. He's 79 years old. He can't be. The defense will probably bring out a big old uh, book of how he shouldn't be going to prison, and but hopefully he gets actually to spend a few years in actual prison, and for this crime that he actually committed. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.